The number one reason why most small business owners fail, especially solopreneurs, somebody who has started a small business or tried to quit their job and set a small business, the most important reason why they fail is because they don't know which part of their business to focus on at what stage of their business. In fact, the most important part of your business, if you're a solopreneur inside of 5 years of starting, the most important part of your business is basically your sales funnel, how to get the sales in, how to get revenue flowing. And if you are a first time business owner, you should be spending minimum 60 to 65% of your time looking at your sales. There is no question, this is what you have to do. In fact, even if top billionaires and CEOs of top companies, that's what they do. They spend 60 to 65% of their time looking into the marketing and the sales. Now, one of the biggest parts, a lot of people think they don't really know what is the part of the sales funnel that I should focus on most. I see a lot of solopreneurs, especially if they are online these days. Most businesses do their marketing through online sources. They are looking at the leads. Hey man, how do I get better leads? How do I get more leads, etc., etc.? And almost nobody is looking at fixing the factors that happens after the lead. The two things that happen after the lead, first of all, is the actual show up rate, making sure that people come to your sales meeting. And the second thing is the actual conversion in the sales meeting. A lot of people focus on the sales meeting, how to improve sales, etc. But that is also not the most important factor that you should be focusing on in your funnel. Now, how to make money as a beginner entrepreneur. We'll be talking specially about what are the factors in the funnel that are the most critical. We'll be talking about one of those factors in detail. What are the two factors that make your sales pitch work? And what are the two things you should be focusing on over there? And then what is the difference between marketing and sales so that you know exactly what is to be done at what point. All right. Welcome to this video. My name is Dr. Rajat Sinha. I'm a medical doctor turned sales strategist. And my story is very simple. I started doing network marketing during my college days, and I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I failed miserably for the first 3 years. Right. Then I had to change my job. I quit my hospital job, went full time into learning sales. First, I became a salesperson for a home loan refinance company. Then I went into market research, and today I'm a sales coach and sales strategist. So welcome to this video. Please make sure that if you like this video, please share it on your wall, share it with your friends who may be entrepreneurs, who may be salespeople, so they can also get benefited. Let's get started now. What happens in sales or in entrepreneurship is that a lot of people actually don't focus as much as they should on the actual sales funnel or marketing process, and this is a very, very common mistake that a lot of people do. I myself, till a few years back, I had this problem where I was spending less than 15% of my time in actually on the actual marketing and sales. Now it's even more prevalent because in today's times what is happening is a lot of people actually running ads. So once you run ads, set and forget, and then you start looking at other parts of your business, which is fair. But in the beginning, the number one thing you should be looking at is the marketing and sales. Now, the second mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make is that they are constantly looking at the leads, quality of leads, etc., especially if they're doing Facebook. Hey, I hope my leads are good. Are these the best leads I can get? How can I improve the lead quality, etc.? Or they are definitely looking at the actual sales conversions. A lot of people, especially if they're business owners and they have outsourced their lead generation, they're constantly looking at probably blaming the lead quality because that is not something in their hand, that they may have outsourced to an agency, and they almost never look at the actual sales conversions. Even if you do look at the sales conversions, that is missing the most important part of the sales funnel, which is the thing that happens in between, which is the reminder calls or reminder automations that actually get people into the sales room. Okay, the most important part of the sales funnel is not exactly the leads, because these days everybody is doing advertising online. You get the leads, life is good. And even the sales process, which is getting people in, it is the most important part, definitely, because that's where the customer is swiping their card and coming into your ecosystem. But that is also a part that is easily fixed. The most important critical part that people are unable to get hold of in today's market is actually the show up rate. All right. Now the show up rate should be ideally minimum 30 to 50% on your calls. And if you're not getting that, then you need to be looking into that. If you're a brand new entrepreneur, especially if you are doing commission sales like insurance sales, if you're doing network marketing sales or something, then you should be heavily relying on the phone to get your show ups. Okay, especially if you just started out, your marketing budget is low, you may not even have money for automations and things like that, and your lead flow may be small enough that you can actually call back the leads yourself, because that is the most effective way of reminding prospects. Today we are going to be talking about how to do that cold call and how to make sure that prospects show up for your meeting, because that is the most critical part. Now, at this point, a lot of people may be wondering, why do you call the show up as the most important part of your funnel rather than the actual sales? And I want to talk to you about the two factors that make your sales pitch perform, It is not the product, it is the offer. How do you package the product? What is the deal of the day, deal of the month? Those are the things that actually make your product perform. So if you are a commission seller, solopreneur, you're selling on behalf of somebody, if you're a network marketer selling somebody else's product, insurance agent, financial planner, anything like that, then it's very, very important that you build your own offer around the core product. If you buy today, this is what I'm going to do for you, something extra from your side, some specialized service, something extra outside the product that you are doing that comes directly from you. And when I was doing electronic products, what I would do is throw in a free installation, 6 months of servicing on the on premise or something like that, if people took a certain kind of offer on a certain day. So the first thing that makes your sales pitch perform is the offer, and the second thing that makes your sales pitch perform is the number of impression, which is how many times has the person or your client seen your actual sales presentation. You'll be surprised, hardly anybody, probably less than 20% of your actual sales or less than 25% of your actual sales will come from people who are seeing your offer for the first time, because when they see it for the first time, they're just getting used to it. So don't be surprised if you're running a linear offer, which is new people see the presentation, some people convert, and others and then you'd never follow up with them again. Then you get new people, and then you get new people. If you're doing a linear format, your sales will be, you'll probably lose a lot of sales. Your sales conversion will be probably less than 5 to 10%. How do you increase the sales conversion? If you get the same people to constantly see your offer again and again by calling them at different times of the year, or if you've automated that process, they should be getting invitations to come again and again to your webinar and seminar. And that's the way a lot of people who are on the fence, they start converting. You'll probably double or triple your closing rate if you get the same people to see your offer multiple times. Okay, so the two things that make your sales presentation work, conversion rates happen, is number one, the offer, which is the special deal that you have around the main product. How are you designing that? And the second thing is, how many times are people seeing the same presentation? Almost 60% of my sales actually come from people who have visited my webinar multiple times. Okay, so it's nothing that I can do except make sure that I keep calling them again and again, which brings me to the most important part of the sales funnel, which is how do you make those calls to get people to see your offer again and again, because the number of times they see it, the chances are higher that they will convert. Okay, so today's topic is going to be how to make that cold call or how to make that reminder call. All right. Now, before we get started, I'll just quickly go through one of the biggest reasons why people mess this up is that when they actually make a reminder call, they're actually trying to get a sale on the phone. And unless you have a very low ticket item, low ticket product, anything less than probably 1,000 rupees, I would recommend don't try to sell it on the phone. Always get people into a Zoom call or a Zoom webinar or a personal in-person meeting. Okay, so when I was selling 3-4 lakh rupee products offline, I would definitely do it only on an in-person meeting, nothing less. So the phone call is not meant to do the sale. The phone call is only meant to get a commitment and grab the prospect's attention so that they do actually show up for the meeting in which you're going to actually make the sale. We call it a sale event. You may be having an in-person sale event where you meet people in person and close the deal, or you may be having a online sale event, which is a Zoom one-on-one meeting, or maybe an all-in-one webinar. All right. So your business is only going to grow through these sale events. And like I said, the faster and faster, the more and more sale events you can have, the better your business is going to grow. Even with the same prospect, if you can recirculate them again and again, it's really going to help. Okay. Now, what is the goal of the invitation? You've got a lead either from online sources, or you've done some cold contacting, some circle of influence, you've got a list, and now your goal is to actually call them and make sure that they show up for this particular Zoom meeting or in-person meeting that you have. The goal of invitation is, number one, to create curiosity in the prospect's mind. That is the first goal, because unless the curiosity is there, people are not going to show up. Second, to qualify the prospect and make sure that they know that you're qualifying them, which means not only do you have to figure out if this is going to be the right prospect for me to waste my time with, but also they should understand that you're qualifying them and that you actually reject the wrong kind of people in your meetings, because it's going to be a waste of your time. The third thing is to slot the prospect for a specified date, time, and location. Location could be online or offline, but specified date and time and location. Those are the three goals with which you actually make a reminder call. Now, quick note on prospect qualification. When you qualify prospects, you're truly trying to figure out if these prospects are going to be a good use of your time, especially in the internet era today. Leads, like every day you can get 5, 10, 20 leads, it doesn't matter. So it's even more important that you spend time with the right leads. Now, if you're talking to the prospect and you're finding out that it's becoming a headache to get them to commit to a meeting, or if they're acting too slippery or asking you too many questions, then absolutely drop them and get the next lead. Okay, because leads are unlimited in today's times. Okay, if they're acting too slippery, some prospects will ask a couple of questions, which is totally fair. But if there are prospects who are only asking questions and asking for more and more information on the phone, just drop them. If the question that a prospect is asking you is mandated, or there's something that you can just provide some assurance and move on, that's amazing. But just make sure you do that in a closed loop format, which means every time you answer the prospect's questions, it has to come with the proposal for date and time. Okay, so remember the three goals of a cold call. Curiosity, you have to create curiosity. Don't give away the entire the entire value of the sales meeting in the cold call itself. The second thing is, if they're asking questions, something like that, you can qualify them a little bit. And if they're asking questions, you have to close every question you answer. You must propose the date and time and get them to lock it down. Now, what is the ideal number of times you can answer a question? What is the ideal number of questions you can answer in a cold call? If you've called somebody and said, hey man, I'm calling in regards to this, and they are dilly-dallying, probably asking you a couple of questions, the maximum number of times you can ask for a date and time, ask them to finalize, is 1 to 3 times. Anything more than that, and they are basically taking you for a ride and you lose posture. 1 to 3 times, they can probably ask you a question during this call and you can probably answer it or provide assurance. But any more than 3 times, if they're not agreeing to a date and time, or they're not agreeing to actually give you their most preferred dates and times, then you just drop them, because at that point you'll be losing posture. Now, some of the prerequisites I love for a cold call is, of course, better to do it on the phone where you're calling them. Second, a lot of times you may be in a position where you're doing business with circle of influence, you're meeting them in a casual setting, and you want to get their interest and lock them down for a business meeting. The best way to do that in a physical setting, imagine you're in a drawing room setting, you're meeting your friends and relatives, you're doing some commission selling business or something, you know somebody in your family or your friends or your relatives or your circle of influence is going to be a perfect prospect. The way to invite them during a in-person setting is when you're heading out the door, so that they can't catch you, ask you too many questions, and basically get all the juice out of you in the cold call or in the invitation itself. So what you want to do is, whenever the festivities or whatever personal stuff you're doing, it's over, you're out the door, just turn back, catch them one-on-one, and then ask them for an invitation or a date and time to meet. Okay. Now with that, let's get started. What is the structure of this cold call or this invitation? The first thing is called the perimeter, which is you have to tell them that you are in a hurry, and more importantly, always be in a hurry when calling prospects. You must have 5 to 10 prospects, 20 prospects to call at any point in time, so that you have elbow room, so that you have the posture that If somebody is acting too sticky, you can drop them, move to the next one, move to the next one. Always make sure that you're in a hurry. Always make sure that the demand on your time is higher than the supply, which is you have more leads to deal with than you actually have the time. The second thing is never make any commitments or provide any deep assurances on the phone. The only assurance you can provide is, hey, yeah, broadly seems like we can help you, but we'll have to talk about it deeper. Okay, just think about if you see any of the smaller service providers, if you see any service provider who's asking, if you see a car service station, for example, if you see a watch servicing guy, for example, if you ever call any of these people, or if there's a plumber or somebody that you're calling, they'll almost never give you too much information on the phone. If you say, hey man, this is my problem, how do we fix that? The guy is going to say, wo to sir dekhna padega. Right? In India, everybody, all the smart professionals, they always say, dekhna padega, I'll have to take a look at it. Your car servicing guy, your watch servicing guy, everything. Everybody's going to say, I'll have to take a look at. What does that mean is that you have to take time apart from your daily schedule, allotted for them to take a look at your problem. And once you've already invested your time, maybe you've taken the time to go ahead and actually travel to their location or something, chances are even more that you're going to close on the offer that they give you at the end, right? So they never provide too much information on the phone. They provide a little bit of assurance, and then they say, yeah, broadly seems like it, but I'll have to take a look. So similarly, never make big promises on the phone. Hey man, seems right in my line, we're going to be able to do it. Nothing. You're going to say, yeah, broadly it seems something that we can do, but we'll have to take a look at it. So this is called the disclaimer. The first thing is the perimeter. Don't spend too much time with prospects on the phone. Second is the disclaimer, which is don't promise too much while you're on the phone with them. And the third thing is, when you do get a commitment, you're going to give them a fallback, which is, if you agree on a date and time, and for whatever reason between today and the actual date of the meeting, if something changes, you're going to give them a fallback option, which is either an alternate date or time, or a way for them to get back in touch with you, so that there is no open loops in between. Okay, you don't want any open loops in this contact. You want to make sure that the thing is tight, so that the communication is very, very tight around this. All right. So perimeter, don't waste too much time on the phone. Second, disclaimer, don't promise too much on the phone. Third, give the prospect a fallback, so that there is not too much laxity in the process where nobody knows who's going to reinitiate. So in case they are agreeing to a particular date and time, if anything mismatches, then you're going to tell them, I want you to call me on the phone and tell me that something is wrong. Okay, don't email me, don't message me, because sometimes I don't get these messages. I want you to call me and tell me what's wrong. All right. And that ensures that if they're going to cancel on the meeting for whatever reason, they have to call you, and you can immediately set a second meeting time, alternate meeting time. All right. Now, when you start the call, definitely you're going to start by saying, hey man, I don't have too much time to talk, because I'm, but the reason I'm calling is. So you got to start with the perimeter. And second thing you're going to do is, you're going to start with the trigger reference. What is a trigger reference? Trigger reference basically means, what is the reason you got to think about them or call them in the first place? Either they approached you online, or they put their name, email, phone number in your lead system or something like that on your web page, or you were referred through somebody. Or if they're your circle of influence, they had initially talked to you about something, talked about making money, talked about improving their health or something like that, and that is the reason you're calling them. So perimeter, I can't talk too much right now. Second thing is, hey man, do you remember 3 months ago you were saying that you wanted to improve this health thing? Are you still interested in that? Are you still looking? Okay, so the second thing is the trigger reference, which is, hey man, Lisa, the other day you were talking about how the doctors don't seem to have any idea about beating your thyroid problem. Are you still looking for a solution for that? Or, hey John, I remember you mentioning you'd love to buy a Mustang. Is that still your dream car? Or, hey so-and-so, I'm calling from so-and-so. You gave us your name, email, phone number this morning, and I'm just wanted to find out what exactly your need is. Okay, so that's the trigger reference. What is the source of the contact? All right. Now, number 3 is the qualifier. You immediately start qualifying. They have to say yes or no. Is that still your dream car? Are you still looking at solving the thyroid problem? Okay, is that still a pain in the butt? Okay, or if they have watched any of your ad and given you their lead on your lead form or something like that. Hey man, what exactly seems to be the problem? And they'll say, well, I saw your ad. Of course you saw my ad, but what exactly is the problem, right? You got to ask them, okay, that's great. What exactly seems to be the problem? And they'll say, well, you were talking about diabetes. Yes, I was talking about diabetes. Do you have a problem with diabetes directly? Do you have somebody in your family who's suffering? And are you looking for a solution? So they have to qualify themselves by saying, yes, that is my pain and I'm looking for a solution. Okay. Next, you're going to straight for the close. You're going to say, I'm looking at 20 to 30 minute meeting. We can quickly meet and discuss over it. Like you said, you're in a hurry on the phone, so you're not going to discuss too much. I'm looking at 20 to 30 minutes. Would you prefer to meet 7:30 p.m. tomorrow, or you have 10:30 a.m. on a different day, 2 days later? Okay, so you give them 2 time slots. Which one suits you? Let's do it. Okay, if you are booking a slot for a personal one-on-one on Zoom, especially with an internet lead, you can give them 2 time slots, or what you can do is you can text them your calendar link so that they can look at the open spots right now and book it while you're on the phone. So I'm texting you the link. Can you open your text messages? Can you open that? Yeah, you'll see some of my open slots. Can you just click on any of the open slots and block it out? Okay, so you want to do that right when you're on the call. The whole thing has to be tight. Okay, you have to be in command, and you're not going to give them a whole lot of time to react and things like that. Okay, now a lot of times prospects say, okay, this is not a good time to call me later, etc. The way to do a cold call is, before they say that you caught them at a bad time, you tell them that it's already a bad time for you. Hey, I'm in a hurry. Just saw that you put in the name, email, phone number. Do you have a problem? What exactly is your problem? And you go straight into it. Okay, this is not the time for niceties. Too many people are too nice on the cold call or on the reminder call. Don't need to be too nice. You can be as nice as you want when they show up for the sale. So, hey, is this a good time? Of course, it's never going to be a good time. They're going to tell you and call later. So that's why you say, we open the perimeter by saying, I'm in a hurry. I have only 5 seconds. Real quick. Was this your problem? Are you still interested in solving the problem? Great. What I want you to do is I want you to meet you for 20 to 30 minutes. What are the, can you meet me Tuesday evening or Thursday morning? Give them 2 time slots. Have them choose. Now, if the prospect comes back with a 3rd time slot, hey, both those slots don't fit me. I'm only free Friday evenings. Just say yes to whatever 3rd time slot they slay. Okay. So if this propose a 3rd slot, just go ahead and agree to that. Right. Okay. So very, very simple structure of the call. Hi. This is Rajat calling from Startup Frat. Hey man, you gave me your lead this morning. Are you still interested in improving your sales? They'll say yes. Okay, great. Well, here's the thing. We do a lot of things. I'll basically like to get to know you and understand exactly what the problem is. And then I'll be able to give you a little more details. I'm free the Tuesday evening, Friday morning, which one suits you better? And they say and then you say, okay, great. So I'm going to fix it for Tuesday evening. Now, between today and Tuesday evening, if anything changes for you, I want you to call me back on this number. Please don't text me. Please don't email me. I'm always on the field. I never see my emails and I never see my WhatsApps. Please call me back. I'm saving your number, and exactly, if there's a problem, I'm going to pick up. We're going to fix a different time. All right. Can you commit to that? They'll say yes. Perfect. Okay. If they ask too many questions, you say, listen, broadly, I'm in a hurry right now. I can't talk right now. But what exactly is the problem? You can ask probably one more question in the deep. What exactly seems to be the problem with your sales? Hey man, I have a problem with sales closures. Oh, okay. Perfect. Yeah, no, I think we can talk about that. That we can do that. No problem. Let's meet on Tuesday. Okay. So at the maximum, if they have too many questions, just reverse the question back to them and say, what exactly seems to be the problem with, if they have diabetes, what exactly seems to be the problem with diabetes? Well, my eyes are going bad. Okay, great. You've reached retinopathy stage. No problem. Yeah, seems to be something we can talk about. Absolutely. We're going to talk on Tuesday. We'll take it one step ahead. Okay. So when they're plying you with a lot of questions and all that, you want to go one level deep so that they know they're talking to a professional, and then just close it out, say Tuesday, whatever. Okay. Yeah. That's how you do a meeting. I'm showing an example on the screen. Hi, this is Lisa. Is this a good time to talk? Or you can just say, hey, Lisa, now this is a personal contact. So, hey, is this a good time? Yeah, what's up? Hey, I'm doing great. I'm rushing into a meeting. I can't talk long. You're talking about arranging that home loan for your dream house. Are you still looking? And they say, yes, okay, great, no promises, but I think I may have a solution that may fit. How you placed at 7:30 p.m., I can meet you at that point, okay? And they'll say, well, yeah, I mean, I can meet, but I don't have a lot of time. Yeah, don't worry, even I won't have a whole lot of time at that point. So I'll be driving by, let's meet and finish it off, okay? Very simple, okay? All right, so this is the way you do a invitation. Now, if you are doing a commissionable product, the problem is that your company already has enough number of distributors in the field who are all trying the same techniques, okay? So if you're a LIC agent, insurance distributor, if you're a network marketer, property broker, anything like that, your company's already got so many sales agents on the field using the same techniques that somebody is going to come back and ask you the landmine question, which is, hey, is this MLM, or is this, are you going to talk about insurance? Are you going to try to sell me some insurance? Like in my case, anybody calls me and says, I'm your new relationship manager from the bank. I know they're going to sell me some insurance or something. I'll say, I'm going to try to sell me some insurance or some, some product portfolio management or something like that. And then that's a landmine question. So how do you handle the landmine question? If the prospect comes back and says, is this network marketing or one of those chain marketing schemes? You say, what's that? I don't know. What did you say? What did you say right now? And they'll say, well, this is one of those chain marketing schemes or network marketing. You say, I don't know. Is that something you like, or is that something you don't like? Is that something you want to do? Is that something you don't want to do? I'm confused. They'll say, no, I don't want to do anything to do with this, or I don't want anything to do with portfolio management. I don't want anything to do with investments. Okay. So you say, great. Then you'll love what I'm going to share. And this is probably right up your alley. No promises, but see you Thursday. Okay. That's how you close it out. That's how you deal with the landmine question. All right. So that's it for this video. I hope this was informative. Like I said, if you really found value in this video, please just share it across. That would really help me out. And probably leave a comment right below. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.